one back. I guess this is a weekend scores video. In the middle of working on this Peugeot, the video is almost done, but I need to take it for a test ride. It just won't stop raining. So I have a feeling I'm gonna have to pull one of the pedals apart and rebuild it. I'm doing a constructor modified pedal video for old French pedals. It'll be cool. We'll be out soon. I might include my Sunday Salvage Sales with this video. But right now it's only Saturday. But yesterday I went and bought this bike. It was on Facebook Marketplace because I saw this stem and I couldn't see the front bolt, and I was hoping it was a Dura-Ace stem. But I got there and it wasn't. You only wanted $40 for the bike. But it's a cool Cinelli old logo with a little face badgy thing. That's cool. I did remember to bring my multi-tool this time and actually check and make sure the C-posts and stem weren't frozen. That worked out great. It's got really cool old Suntour down tubey shifty bus, cable-y, stoppy, adjustery things. It's got NKS pedals that are either barely threaded in or totally dead. So those are like the three things that you kind of see from like the one bad photo. I'll probably post it. I think I screenshotted it. But then when I got there, I was got these cool Suntour thummies. I don't really know if they're that cool. They're kind of friction only, but they're like silver and kind of cool. They're pretty decent to put on a cool build. This poor C-post is definitely stuck at one point. It's been clamped in some vice jaws hard, bro. Hard. It's got something real wacky. It's the detail shots of. This is definitely some sort of super deep V. Maybe it's a velocity chunker or something, I don't really know. It's on a black, no logo, like Formula hub, flip-flop hub. But someone has changed the axle out for a quick release axle, who knows why, and threaded a freewheel on to the single speed freewheel side. They put like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 speed freewheel on. And now it's with the spacers out of here, so this whole wheel, I don't think it's been redished maybe, but it's definitely had a bunch of axle fuckery. I'm trying not to cuss on this channel. I don't know if anyone really cares or not. I'm trying to be a good boy. I've definitely been missing a little bit lately. I'm trying to be good, just to let you know. You don't have to stop watching if you need it. It's got a big 728 tire, which does not fit. Included this front wheel. I have not checked it out yet. The brake wear is not significant. It's barely through the ano. It's a gray, hard anodized Open Pro with red alloy nipples and a black generic specialized hub. Feels great. So if this rim isn't mangled or has a huge dent or anything horrible, this is a cool rim. And it's got real Tonga Infinity tube sticker up here, but it's not like high-end in Japan. It's like a Mangalite fork. It's not high-end. It's still cool. It's still got real dropouts. It didn't have this cheapy headset in it. It looked cool. I think I'm going to tear it down and light action derailleur. Doesn't feel worn out. Exarge cranks and crusty brakes. I don't know. You know, for $40. Oh, he also said, hey, do you need a lock? And threw in this Via Velo lock I've never heard of, but you know, for an extra spare or something, someone will need a cheap, probably not hardened, probably not super safe lock, but still a good lock. So that's a good score for $40. I often get $40 just for these shifters, usually 30 to 40 on eBay. I think this stem, if it was shorter, it'd be worth more. I don't know. I'm gonna ask like 70 for this stem. It's old logo, but has the cool face thing. I don't know. It's cool. I'll probably end up taking 30 because I don't use Cinelli stuff. I don't like their bars. I know they're the best bars. I don't care. I'm gonna pull this thing down for parts, and I kind of like this frame. It's real dusty, but I think it'll clean up. It's a little chippy and crusty. The white logos and stuff. Oh, it's got like pink accents. I've been kind of debating on what frame to use to do my white fixed gear project. I got some cheap white fixed gear wheels that are pretty decent. I got white fixed gear bars. I got a white road vintage front brake. I even have some white cranks I may or may not end up using. This frame's a little bigger. The cranks are all 165. You guys like that for fixed gear stuff. But I don't know if I'd do that to someone. It's 58, so it's my size. I don't know if I'd do that to someone on a bike this big. I rode 165s on a fixed gear conversion for years. I don't know. I definitely need to go on eBay and order some white housing. Or maybe there's enough of this is good. It doesn't look bad. It's a little dirty. You can just cut out a little good chunk if it's good and save it for just the front brake. It won't be a runner rear. Yeah, it's got eyelets, it's got fenders and stuff. It almost fits 28. Definitely put some 25s on it. Like, I think I got some mismatched 25s. I may or may not use. But yeah, I wanted to show off my new Centurion. Make sure the frame's not all out, bent and out of whack. Make sure nothing's cracked. I already checked it for any frontal damage. Make sure the fork's straight. Do all that stuff. Do a build. I'm gonna tear it down. I'm also going to tear down the Novara Randonnée. I like it. I love it. I want to do stuff with it, and none of it being built is going to make that happen faster or better. So it needs to come down. We're going to address the rusty bubbly in the paint, and then build it up super sick and see if we can sell her. And then if I get some good scores tomorrow, I will show them off as well. Ta-da! The whole thing came apart. Ironically, the cranks on this were 165. I was like, should I put 165 cranks on this tall bike? Well, someone sure thought so. Took the parts off, gave the frame a little rub down, gave a little inspection. Just a little bit of tire wear. Rub on this side was not bad. I don't see any obvious damage. You know, a little bit of tire rub right here, if not too fat a tire. Oh, they even cut down this brake boss a little bit to make it fit. You know, there's a little rust spots. I got all the dirt and grime off. It's fine. I got the top of the headset off from my pull that open. It spins real smooth, even though it's kind of ugly and cheap looking. Probably just going to go ahead and use it because it's already in there. I'll just rebuild it. It doesn't look too bad. Threw away the damaged seat post. Threw away the old karate bottom bracket. I'm sure it was dead. Didn't even clean it up. The pedals came off and they had a little bit of play, but they're fine. Old MCAS pedals are fine. They can be serviced if you really want to, but they really don't need to be. This dude's cool. When I pull it apart to overhaul the headset, I'll double check, make sure the fork's aligned. I really just throw a wheel and measure off both sides. It's the same. Both sides inside the blade to the inside of the rim. It's close enough. The rear is a little bit pinched. The side's in like a millimeter. That's tricky, so I go to pinch it. That might be good because this side moves easier with the dimple on the outside and the inside. It's at like 124. If I can get this side to move in a mil or two and this one to move 3 or 4, we will be in heaven. And that way we can get it to 120 or real close to 120. It doesn't really matter when you're doing old single speed conversions. You can just pinch them. You do need to align the dropouts. If you pinch them in, they'll be at crazy angles and put all weird pressure on your bearings. So you need to align the dropouts. But it doesn't have to be perfect. Rear ends can be out a 1/4 inch. They can be spaced a little bit weird, and it won't really matter on single speed builds. The more I'm touching this, the more I think this is going to be cool with that white single speed build. Yo. Here's the back wheel right here. It has some probably decent 723s on there I probably won't use. Let's look and see what it's going to look like. It's going to be kind of cool with this logo. White cranks, white junk. Not usually a white bike guy. It's got this white Originate seat. I think I can clean it up. It's got some other white seats. White bars. It's going to be a little bit dope. God, I might go with pink. If I can find some light pink housing and grips, that might be real dope. We shall see. If that's the build for another day, I'm going to get this Novara down next. And maybe I'll start building this. It's going to be fun. I've been wanting to do this build for a while. Novara. So we're here taking a look at this paint. So this frame on Novara is so flawless, except for this paint right here. It's a little rusty and it's a little cancery. You can see the rust is digging underneath the paint. It's just digging underneath the paint where you can scrape it off. This has to be dealt with. It's not bad yet, but it sure could be soon. That paint is actually holding the rust against the metal to make it rust even faster. I call this bad surface rust. It's not cancer till it starts getting like potholes, like pits. The metal's like thin, like all the little chunks are missing. It's not cancer rust until there's like holes all the way through the tube. I don't want to damage any of this paint. I don't have to. It's got to go. Keep debating on whether to repaint this whole bike. It's been like $150. Have it powder coated. Think about it. There's a few little scratches. Never touch up paint bikes. I think it doesn't look very good. I think I'm going to touch up paint this bike. I'm going to try and find some blue that's real close and tape it off and spray it on. And it's a real small little spot. It's on the non-drive side. Hopefully no one will ever notice. You're not supposed to sand rust because it pushes in deeper. But I'm going to sand this a little bit. We'll see how bad it is. Make sure we get all the paint flaking all the way off. And then I'll probably take a wire wheel to finish it off. So here's a bubble up here. Now that's in a nice clean metal. So it went from the red to totally silver. Paint's still not sticking. But I want to get to all nice. Oh, it just keeps going. All this gross rust off. You can use a mini pocket screwdriver and use a little teeny Harbor Freight pick. Scratching that paint down lower, so making the spot bigger and grosser, more depressing with every scrape. But I want to make sure the only paint that's really sticking is staying. Anything that can chip off easily does. Might as well fix this once now and not a whole bunch of times in the future. Come right back. I'm really going all the way around because if you're not physically watching with your eyes and the tool, you're missing it. It's not working. Like if I'm over here, I'm like, oh, I can, it's close enough, I can just do that, I'm getting it. You didn't get it. I've learned that the hard way many, many times when dealing with rust and paint, mostly with welding. When I'm doing frame building and I'm brazing bridges on and stuff, like, oh, and I pulled the heat around and I saw the brass flow and it's totally fine. And as soon as I actually get it off the stand and cool and hit it, soak in hot water and get all the flux paste off and look at that weld, nope, big giant gap. Like every time, no matter what. If you don't see it happen, it doesn't happen. Now it is so much less bad than I thought. So this is just some 80 grit emery cloth. So it's a cloth back sandpaper. This is a 1-inch piece. This is my favorite stuff. It's like to buff it like it's a shining shoes. It's a real tight little spot though, so I'm gonna give her a tear. So I'm gonna really sand around, make sure there's no more bubbles. Make sure everything's shiny. When I was doing auto paint, they tell you need to feather edge a 1/2 inch per layer. So I'd want to see a 1/2 inch of this red rust, a 1/2 inch of bare silver, a 1/2 inch of this gray primer, then a 1/2 inch of like dull sanded blue. So I'd want to feather edge it out like that big. Make sure you got everything, make sure it's flat. So when you hit a little touch-up paint, it still looks totally flat. This is a bike, I don't have professional painting stuff, so I'm not going to be that nuts. But I'm going to make sure we can see everything all the way around. I also left some scratches in there. I'm going to sand up to those. And of course, I just touched some more. Should probably tape it off. I was so afraid I was going to get in here and this rust was going to be way worse than I thought, and big and pitted and holes all the way through the tube. And if that was the case, I would have to probably replace this whole stave, but I could do like a patch. I could do like an internal sleeve and cut another chunk of tube off another old stay, and it's all the right diameter. Braze it on the internal sleeve, you drill a few holes so you can fill them and make sure all the silver flows through, and you can make a patch and hide it. Guys do it a lot, especially when they replace dropouts, so do some internal sleeving down here, lengthen the stay. Or I've replaced seat stay caps that have cracked or broken many times that way. Just cut the tubes off and cut them flush and found a seat stay plug. It's like a solid piece of metal with a little internal sleeve built in that fits. I've also done an external sleeve, so I want to keep the bike really light. So it's got another chunk of seat stay that was like one size bigger. So I actually slipped and slid over this tube and cut it into shape and braced a cap on and made it very light and very cool. Sandpaper's cheap. It loads up. Once it's not gritty anymore, stop using that spot. Like, you're just be doing 10 times the labor to get a quarter of the results. Just switch to a nice fresh sharp spot on the paper. Split this again, make it even finer, so we get around this bridge and do the least amount of damage possible. The paint just came right off. Too easy. Oh yeah, there's some rust under here. This paint's not sticking well to this bridge. So just on the bottom, it looks like. Trying to find spots where it's primer sticking to the metal instead of chipping right off with red underneath there. If the rust doesn't stick very well to the metal, so it's just popping right up. Okay, I see primer. So that's a lot more than I thought. That cancer was creeping, you couldn't tell there's no bubbling at all. So that's why you got to keep going, not just assume you got it. Otherwise, in a month, it'll be right back and bubble right up with that new paint. Or a big chip will chip right off. I see more red. Yeah, there's red all up under this bad boy. I don't want red. I want clean and primer and not coming off easy. So that's so much more than I anticipated. Getting less and less subtle by the minute. Best thing about ripping the sandpaper in half is you always get another fresh piece. Even if I just rattle can this flat black or something, it'll be pretty subtle. And probably find some blue that matches. So that's a pretty dramatic before and after. And try to avoid the rust as much as possible. Wire wheel that out, really flick it out. But you can see all around it, that's all nice, shiny silver metal. And even where I did take a little bit of the top of the rust off, you can see it's not really pitted. You might be able to see a little teeny bit of pitting, almost like orange peel texture, but tiny underneath the new paint. But not bad enough it's going to need any sort of body filler or primer filler or anything weird. That's if we're trying to do a show quality job. We're not. There's some other little chips and scratches and stuff. So good. I was actually kind of sort of stressing on that and put off working on this for a week. So I'm like, I don't want to get in there and have it be a whole huge thing. But that is not bad at all. Worse than I wanted, but not bad at all. So we'll deal with that when we're ready to do this build, which will hopefully be soon. I'm just going to give this thing a clean up. And I think I'm going to start on this Centurion, even though I have like 10 other projects sitting around in the way. Whoa. Thanks for watching. Okay, man, I'm filming some videos, or at least like 4 or 5 last week. A couple I busted out, a couple I've been working on for a little bit. Just finished my Peugeot video, just gotta do a little more editing on that. But today is Sunday, and I filmed a little bit of this video earlier, on Friday or Saturday. And I'm gonna do my Sunday Salvage scores too. The first thing I have to say is, oops, I did it again. They did not sell this Ether Park double arm repair stand. The other dude just bought the wheel truing stand. So I bought it. $100. I still got the other one. And if you watch my other videos, I might have mentioned this, but whatever. And I went on the old Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or whatever and picked up this pair of really lightly used, really nice park repair stand arms from the 90s. These are the better ones. From a dude whose buddy's shop went out of business, was selling everything real cheap to get rid of it, and he bought them and said he put them in his garage for 20 years, never got a repair stand or got around to using them. So I got a pair of these, so one of these stands is already set. There's still this guy on eBay, and he's the guy who designed the Pedros ones, and he's willing to give me a deal on 3. And I have 1, 2 here, and I have the little bench mount one, so I might... You know, my eBay has been weak. This month's a week. In the winter, it always is. But I'm like, I just spent all of my rent money on this stuff because I've made no money on eBay. Barely enough to cover Sunday Salvage Sales. And I got to go visit my stepdad in the hospital in Eugene for the weekend. Well, the weekend would be like Monday, Tuesday. So I'm going to drive down to Eugene and back. It's money. It's gas money. The car needs to be registered. Needs new tags. no money. Luckily I got some in savings, so rent will be out of savings. Maybe my bills will be out of eBay. Wah, wah, wah. I gotta do eBay taxes now, and it's gonna be expensive. I paid 0 towards taxes. I'm gonna set up a payment plan, so all my future eBay money is gonna go towards paying off last year's taxes and paying for the stuff. I'm not gonna make any money. I'm gonna have to go get a real job. I should just sell my truck and my car and start another bike shop. So I dug around. When I showed up at Sunday Salvage Sales, the dude came out. I was like, "Oh, you're gonna be so happy. There's so much new stuff." I put it all down the center, and somebody else was like, "Wasn't it priced individually, not by the pound?" It's like, "Yeah, it's like $15 a thing." I'm like, man, if I wanted to pay like scruffy Craigslist prices and scruffy eBay prices, I could just go do that. So I didn't actually care if I did buy a bunch of stuff. I did get some of it by the pound as well, and the free box was really golden today. There wasn't a lot of new stuff out other than all these cranks I got out. I got this one handlebar just because I like the bar. It's a black riser bar. It's a little bit wider. It's not very scruffy. Profile designs. Whatever. It's got some old Abner grips and Gary Fisher bar and things. Maybe someone will care. I didn't even check to see if these shifters work. Some crappy hybrid 3x8 shifters. They look nice. You know, I'll probably save them for if I decide to do a tune and flip on a hybrid or something. I might need them. So I got this bar. That bar been good and cool fix here. I also grabbed this bar because it had a kind of shiny, nice, uprighty mountain bike stem without the stupid cable stop. And it's got a Soma, I don't remember what this bar is called. Smoothie, the Bill, Soma. It's too worn off to tell. I have another one I got there last time too. So a silver, scruffy, cool hipster bar. Some okay cross tops. Some moldy Oris. Whatever. Got a bar. Gave me this bag to put it in. Then there's a couple of these Maximus like little pack-light little string backpacks in the free box. So I grabbed them, put my junk in. I got this white saddle because even though I have a couple other white saddles, I'm going to do a couple of white bikes. Got one little spot of carbon in it for reasons. It's so carbony, bro. Stelia Italia. Made in Italy. It's nothing special. It's not particularly light. It's not particularly heavy, but it look good on one of those white bikes with white, you know, bars and brakes and wheels and junk. I get a few sets of cranks, even though I was going to try and protest the cranks because I thought they're too expensive. I have no idea what he charged me for them, and he ended up giving me a deal in the end anyways. But a nice set of Sagino GPs. I'm hoping they're nice. I did not look close enough. It's always a mistake. There's so much stuff. I want to get all the good stuff for everybody else. They're 170s. These are probably like off a 80 Schwinn or something like I like. They're for easily do 110 road double or triple. And they're really not scuffy. Like, that's pretty clean, man. So this will be totally nice for a build. I'll be into them. One set of these weird specialized triple cranks, 175, like the later flag crank, they have the specialized S instead of the flag. And they have all their rusty, crusty hardware that came with them. Can do something with them. I have another set of these that I have up on eBay and no one cares, so they're apparently not cool. But, you know, I think it'll be cool if I do like a scruffy, specialized fixed gear conversion. I have about one set of brake, all these brake levers out for $10 to $15. This is a set of Tiagra 10-speed road double. I feel like I'm just constantly getting Tiagra stuff except for the shifters, so why not grab the shifters? Or I'll put them on eBay for like what they usually go for, and no one will buy them from me, and I'll have to lower them to like half price, and then someone will try and talk me down to doing half of that. It's very annoying. I had a big mismatch crank pile, and I said no, 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 except for this one. It's a weird Ritchie 175 black crank. It's in pretty good shape. Someone might care about this. Got the self-extractor thing. No idea if it's any good. The rings aren't about 2 worn, maybe 50%. And then 46, 36 compact double. They're not in that great a shape. I don't really care. Maybe I'll try and sell them. But really, has that bolts that say Ritchie right on the bolt head, which is cool. I'd never seen that before. So really, I think they wanted $5 for miscellaneous mismatch cranks. So I paid $5 for these cool chainring bolts. I have that very similar looking but silver Ritchie crank that I'm going to use on something for myself. So I'm going to use these bolts on that, and I'm going to be happy about it. Oh, I got a couple of these in the free box. Santa Cruz. It's like a dry little stuff sack. You can put your stuff in here, then like roll it up and stuff. And it's like waterproof and stuff. And then you can like clip it. I don't know. It's good for mountain biking. It's probably really good for bike touring. You can keep stuff you want to stay dry and tuck down your pannier, because a lot of panniers aren't really that waterproof. I don't know, I couldn't help myself. I grabbed it. I got 2 of them. Other nerdy stuff I got out of the free box. I got this used piece of Chinelli tape. It's some hipster SF tape that's got like logos and Lucky Charms and, you know, it's like bad hipster neck tattoos. I didn't see the other one. I don't know why I grabbed this. I'll put it on something cheesy. Maybe we'll make a wrap a little bit along the top tube on a bike, you know, where the bars could whip around and hit it. On a cool fixie bro. Whatever. It was free. I grabbed this tourney derailleur because it was brand new. It has never been installed. It's cheap, Walmart quality, probably a little nicer than that. 6-7 speed tourney derailleur. Maybe I'll do a flip bike with those horrible shifters and this derailleur, or maybe one of my neighborhood kids will have a bent derailleur. I don't know. I'll put it on eBay. They're like $5 new or something. I had one in my old shop for like 10 years sitting on the wall in case someone needed it. No one ever did. I don't know why I bought this. I already got a set of these. I already put them on a bike with all the gray Tiagra parts I had. But I grabbed a set of Tiagra brakes. Really, Shimano brakes are the best brakes, even like lower end ones like Tiagra. They are way higher quality than Tektro and will last way longer. But they're pretty roady. Maybe a little medium-y, maybe get a 25 and fenders in there. But they're really clean. It's just missing one recessed nut, and this one's gross and rusty. Otherwise, they look good. Maybe I'll put them on eBay. People are, well, I was looking for a set for the other build I did, the Trek 1000 build, and man, guys wanted $50 for those things used. Couldn't believe it. One coily cable. I like to put these in the back of my truck, so if I buy some bikes at Salvage Sales or wherever, I can wrap this junk around them and put my U-lock through so no one steals them. This is like the 3rd time I found a set of new old stock in the package Bonotto cello bar tapes. This is like a weird plastic bar tape that you wrap backwards. So you start at the bar and overlap and wrap all the way backwards. Then you tuck it into the end, you put this end cap on. Then you take a lighter and heat the tape so it melts and like shrink wraps a little bit onto your bars. It was popular for a minute in the 70s. I usually put this up on eBay for like $10 and I think I get it every time. So why not grab a brand new one of those? This is the free box too. I grabbed it. It's another one of these little bike stands. When you need one, you cannot find one for any amount of money. When you don't need one, there's 500 of them. So I bought it. These are cool for mounting in the back of your truck. You can clip your fork to this and set your wheel aside or mount in the back of your van. I like to clamp this in the vise and clamp my fork in here so I can work on forks when I'm brazing or tapping threads or doing whatever. I'm sure I have like 3 of them right now, but whatever. A friend needed one the other day. He's got a school bus. I want to be able to hook his bike up in the school bus and hang it out of the way. So I gave him one of these. He's all stoked about it. One wrench. It's a 15-13, so maybe it's going to be kind of like a little cone wrench or whatever. It's the 2 best sizes. This is the pack of stuff I want to get last time. This is for a walled lift-off front basket. It's the hardware kit. I got that black walled basket there last time, the big 31/8 oversized jump. This hardware kit has like the correct shims in it and like brand new dudes and brand new bolts, and so half this kit I will use, the other half will go in the recycling. But I used to sell the crap out of the lift-off walled baskets. I loved them. This bolted onto this is like a little wire hanger that hung off your handlebars or clamped on your handlebars and hung down And this bolted onto that, came back, just rested against your stem. And then the basket, you lift the handle up and it unlocks the basket. You just walk off and go grocery shopping with it. Very cute. Some stoked for the hardware kit with the other basket, very usable. Yeah, you can see a cool Maxxis bag. So you just like wear it like a backpack. That cinches the top up. And then when you don't want to do that, you can just fold them up real tight and stuff them in your jersey pocket or whatever. And really for, if you got to go run a couple errands, we're out on your fast roadie bike for a roadie spin. You got to go get a Century in the morning before coffee. Come back, go to coffee, and buy some pastries or a record, your real hip record and neck tattoo. Not even joking, through all my 20s and 30s, I did tons of stuff like that. So they wanted $10 for single speed cranks. I was like, I don't want to pay that. But these are cheapy modern ones. But they're 175s, they're silver, they're not too scuffy, they have a 46 tooth ring, it's 1/8 inch. So this is very cheapo fixie, bro. But this will be cool for a build. Some generic wheels and generic cranks. It's an 1/8 inch ring, so it'll be a fixed gear only, or I might switch that ring out and do a 1x with them or something. I got a few others like that. Here's another $10 cheapo generico set. Pro wheel 170, bright silver, not too scruffy, with the bash guard, and probably way too big of a rings, probably at least a 46. Why would you design the bash guard or stamp the ring in a place where you can see it? This is cool for converting hybrids to 1x's and building whatever bikes. Flip bikes for cheaps. Grabbed one more set. This is also definitely a track style crank. It kicks out a little bit because it was probably originally supposed to be a mountain crank or something, but it only has the lip on the outside. Very single speed. Also 175s. I like me a good 175. This would be great on the Peugeot if the old strong lights sold or sucked. Go Neo Retro with the Neo Retro bars and the Neo Retro wheels. I was digging through a junk bin. It was mostly hardware, and I found a new old stock Sanson sealed bearing front hub. Nothing special, silver and brand new, and I put it up for sale. I probably won't use it on a wheel. It's nothing high end or anything cool, but it's brand new. And there's also this 9-speed SRAM X5 shifter. I feel like I have 4 or 5 random SRAM rear derailleurs I bought from them. And I've sold a few of them, so I don't even know what I have. But I might have a SRAM X5 rear long cage derailleur, and then this shifter, and then you can do a cool black 1x SRAM build. A black road wheel set. And get a big 9-speed cassette or something. This I just found laying on the ground underneath the bench. I think it fell out of a bike. It's where the bikes were. But it's an Avner. And it's kind of really light. It's hollow on the top. And it's suede and it's silver. And it's not scuffy. This is all just grease. It's been cut short. I don't know if it's 27.2. Maybe I'll use it or sell it. I don't know. I don't know why I get half the stuff I got. Got this one set, brand new in the bag. Problem solvers. Oh, it has a note. A handwritten note on it. Handwritten note. 2-run continuous hydro brake leaves in place of stops. So yeah, I think these have a fitting that bolts into your cable stop, and then it has this hook hanging out of that, so you can run a hydro cable on any bike. So you can take an old bike with just dumb split cables and stuff and make it hydraulic. I've always seen them. I've never used them. I thought they were cool. Oh, another Brooks seat cover in the bag. The last one I got was broken, I think. I got another one that works fine. That's on my Brooks saddle right now. Maybe this one's cooler or better, or I think it's skinnier. It must be for the Swift. It's real narrow. It's not broken. It's got the stuff and the Velcro, and it says Brooks right there. Maybe we'll put that professional on the Peugeot I'm working on. I don't know. What else? I grabbed one brand new in the bag, little Planet Bike rear light bracket. This one's designed so it mounts to the back of your rack. on either style rack, and you'll quick release the light. You know, whatever. It's brand new in the bag from No Size, Miscellaneous Parts, No Colors. These must have come from REI as well. Oh, I got a bunch of little hardware. I'll pull it all out. I found one little micro USB charger. A lot of those new lights I have, my roommate's lights take micro USB, so I got this charger just in case. Got a Race Face 44 tooth ring. It's in pretty good shape, pretty lightly used. I was looking through the chain rings, it looked empty, looked like I didn't add anything, but I found two things. I think it's probably a dumb 4-bolt BCD. I don't know if anyone's going to care, but I grabbed it. I'll go on eBay. And I found another one of these salsa rings. The last one of these I got. I put a picture online and my friend freaked out. He was looking for one. Came and gave me $20 for it. It's for 110 cranks and it's a bash guard and for a max of 44 tooth. So that's great, man. People love them 42s and 44s. So I can convert some totally sick cranks like these Saginos. These are a 110. Boom, and now I got a bash guard, and I can put, you know, my single ring in the middle and have a sick 1x or single speed setup. It's really mostly for 1x stuff. All the cross guys were trying to do that for a while. I'm asked $20 for that ring. I'm excited. Anything that says salsa on it, you can get kind of way more money than you think. The rest of this is a bunch of hardware. The other guy who gets all the cool old stuff, he found some good looking stuff in his hardware bin. It's like, oh, and he's like, I saved you some. And he gave it to me. Let me dig through. One mismatch, brand new cool stop. BMX style brake pad with a little Shimano holder thing, but only one. One brand new cool stop road insert pad, right hand, but only one. I do find that kind of stuff there all the time. Mismatched stuff, and the rest of it will show up, or something else will show up. One nice old metal, like little brake washer for. I found one Dura Ace track cog in there, 1/8 inch. Ooh, 15 tooth. It's way smaller than I could ride, bro. You know, maybe if I put on a really crazy rig, put a 40 in the front or whatever. I mean, these are usually $15 even used. One bar end lever, little dust cap. I feel like I got 3 or 4 of these mismatched lying around. One set of black alloy double chainring bolts, but they're only for 4 of them. Weird little skinny headset spacer shims. Little headset spacer lock shim with a little lip on it. If you don't have one for the right headset, you need one, you're boned. Black 1/8" headset spacer. I found one cool old Suntour crank dust cap. There's Suntour right on it, but only one. I dug around and I found one spacer, and I think I found the other matching one. These are Shimano black shims for 31/8 to 31/8. The other one, I believe, is the match. Yeah, 31/8. So these will shim your 31/8 derailleur. These either shim your 31/8 derailleur down to 28/6 or the other way around. This is for like 34/9 to shim down to 31/8. I'll have to play with them and see. But it's the matching set. One old chrome seat post binder bolt with chrome nut. It's pretty decent shape. Oh no, it's got 4 little dudes on it instead of 1. That's weird. Maybe this is for a very specific stem or something bizarre and cool. It's good to have weird hardware. I don't know. One little baggie of like a little cable kit. It's got several little ferrules and some black and some silver NARPs. I always needed that stuff. I've not broken down and bought any new yet. Nice Scout. Nice Scout. Scout, Scout, Scout. One little Blackburn genuine replacement parts generic rear light mount bracket. So I think this is a skinny little bracket that clamps onto your stay. Let's just clip any old belt hook light onto it is what it looks like. And I think that is dope because a lot of bikes are too small to get your light on your seat post or below your seat post, or you get anything else clamped on there. Got 2 dumb little rear cable stops go through like your your seat post binder bolt, let your back cable stop for your canties or whatever. It's come in handy when you need them sometimes. Oh, I found 2 of these. So these are aluminum. I kind of think they're a matched pair of self-extracting crank bolts. You use like an M8 style crank bolt with this, and the bolt will suck your crank off instead of using the tool. I'm always too scared to actually use them, but I've always thought they were really cool. One nice canty bolt, but only one. I'll dig through next time. Random weird barrel adjuster, random weird fender diorama. You know, a couple of little brake blocks that adapt your round fork crown to your brake. Here's a little skinny one for a back on vintage bikes. A couple other barrel adjusters. Here's a nice pair like Tektro e-barrel adjusters. One's missing this little O-ring. Some M6 bolts. Cool old Sagino vintage style seat post binder bolt. A couple of, this one says stuff, Cycles something. Yeti. Some recessed like brake mount bolts. This one says Yeti Cycles. I'll put that on eBay. There's a Yeti dude on there who would be all stoked. Another weird barrel adjuster, random bolts, weird barrel adjuster. 2 single speed chain ring bolts, but only 2. A couple of these. I love these dudes. They're just aluminum spacers. These are great for fender kits. Sometimes the fender has to sit way down. If I want a good fender line, I'll hacksaw this down to length and bolt it between the fender and the bottom of the fork crown or the bottom of the rear bridge. Put these all the time if I want to run normal fenders on disc brake bikes. You can bend the fender stays way out to clear the disc brake. I love these. If you try and just buy spacers at a hardware store on eBay, they're insane, like $4 a piece or something, but they come with some of the nicer Planet Bike fender kits, and there are always a bunch of them floating around, so I always grab all of these I can find. Some inline barrel adjusters, 1 brake pad, you know, just wacky nonsense. And then I found this. This is the wackiest wacky of the nonsense of them all. I have no idea what it is. It's a square block, a rectangle block, with shift bosses machined under the ends. Does this clamp into something? Does this fit into something on a soft ride or a tandem? Or I have no idea, but it will be cool for us getting some nice shifters, keeping them bolted onto this, keeping all the hardware and everything in order. Doesn't fall apart in the bag, and maybe even as a little display block to display some shifters. Hell, man, I don't know. It's cool. It's aluminum. I don't know. It's nice. Yeah, some other random little junk. Single tire lever. Guys, that's really all I got. But anyways, he was looking at that and he added it all up. They didn't really care. He's like, oh, those bars too. Whatever. I asked about the stand a couple of times. He goes, all right. And I brought the stand over and I'm like, okay. So the stand, he charged me $100 like the last one. And then he decided to just do all of this for $60 because he didn't want to bother. Really, he just sort of guesstimated on the cranks. He only cared about the cranks. He was happy he pulled the cranks out and threw all the ones he thought were saving in the pile. So, you know, I saved 10 or $20 instead of doing it by weight plus these cranks and stuff. So I got some stuff. So $160, I got some stuff, but now I needed a couple more arms. Still need one for the bench one, and I still need 2 more for these. So I might go buy that guy's off eBay. Or maybe I'll just sit around, you know. When I first started frame building, I bought one of these double arm stands, only had a single arm, because I had a Brignelli jig with an adapter that I bought used. So the big giant frame jig itself had the block that was machined the right size for this arm. So I had my frame jig on one side and just an arm on the other side, so I could flip, but just turn the stand around, just pivot, loosen it up with this clamp, and turn the stand around, keep my frame jig over against the wall, and use the regular stand like normal. And then when I needed to braze stuff and was ready to get stuff in the jig, I'd just spin it around. And that was actually really nice. But that Brignelli jig, it's very hard to build a straight frame on. Their fork jig is impossible. This alignment table's nice though, I miss it. Need to get an alignment table, bro. So between this and the other stuff footage I shot yesterday that I probably put at the beginning of this video, that is my weekend scores. I'm going to drive down to Eugene for Monday, Tuesday to hang out with my stepdad while he's in the hospital for a fractured hip. Keep him company. I'm going to try and install some fenders on my friend Rosie's bike that I sold her. I didn't think she would want fenders. Turns out she does. Otherwise I would have just done it. I have a couple of sets of 26-inch fenders I think will work. And if not, we'll we'll go cruise some bike shops in Eugene, and there's the big new nonprofit down there that I've talked to about getting a job with if I just get my act together and move down to Eugene. But I keep not quite doing it. Sunday Salvage Sales is a big part of that. Would you move away if you had this amazing big score every weekend? It'd be hard to do, man. And this wasn't part of Sunday Salvage Sales, but I did score it this week, maybe last week, and forgot to talk about it. It's the Dura Ace 7700 9-speed back hub with a titanium free hub body, so it's a little lighter than most 9-speed back hubs. Still made, handmade in Japan, one little factory, does Dura Ace and XTR stuff only. Small barrel, real bearings, not a bunch of weird bullshit like the later 10-speed modern stuff. My favorite hub. They're gorgeous, they're the best. Gorgeous, the best, eat your heart out. It's the third one of these I've come across in a few weeks. My friend Anthony traded me a wheel it was a blue tubular rim to one of these, and one of his friends kicked him down when some shop closed, Chris King closed or something, was lying around. He kicked down to him, he traded it to me, and then my wheel builder gave me a wheel that was dead and 24 spoke and had one of these in it, but it had a steel body, so these are often cracked, and I think you could just take this off and replace it with an Ultegra one. Bolt right in. So guys could upgrade that. So I got that. I ended up selling it on eBay, then got returned because I actually need 28 hole, only got 24. And then I resold it on eBay for a lot less than I wanted to, but whatever, it's still like 45 bucks, free 45 bucks. Hopefully it'll work for that guy. And then a dude who's posted a bunch of stuff for what I think is way top dollar, like way more than eBay. Like, he's trying to get me to buy it. I'm like, I can't buy it because I can't sell or flip any of that. I buy low, bud, and then sell like reasonable is my whole plan. Keep things moving. Other people buy low and sell high because they're smarter than me. But he had this hub for 30 bucks. And these usually go for at least $100 used. I used to buy them new old stock all the time for $2 and then sell them for like $3 at the shop. So I got a used one on my rando bike. I have the matching rear derailleur for this. I got the matching shifters for this. Like, this will be built into a 650B wheel set with a Sun Dynamo front hub and going something someday. Maybe if I ever start frame building again, I'll build a bike around it. A nice city bike, Porteur, to match my rando bike, but be more city-y. Okay, that was my addendum. Thanks for watching.